Gentlemen, good day and welcome to Intense Technologies Limited Q1 FY24 earnings conference call. As a reminder, all participant lines will be in the listen-only mode and there will be an opportunity for you to ask questions after the presentation concludes. Should you need assistance during the conference call, please signal an operator by pressing star then 0 on a touch-tone phone. Please note that this conference is being recorded. I now hand the conference over to Mr. Siddharth Rangnekar from CDR India. Thank you and over to you, sir.
Thank you, Zico. Good afternoon and thank you for joining us on Intense Technology Limited's first quarter FY24 earnings conference call for investors and analysts. Today we have with us Mr. C.K. Shastri, Managing Director, Mr. Jayant Dwarkanath, Director, Ms. Anisha Shastri, Director, Mr. Anil Kumar, Chief Operating Officer of the company, Mr. Nitin Sarda, the CFO, and also Mr. Lokesh from the finance team. Before we commence, please note that some of the statements made on today's call could be forward-looking in nature, and a note to that effect has been included in the earnings release of the company, which is available on the stock exchange websites. I would now like to invite Ms. Shastri to give a brief introduction to the management team and take the call forward. Over to Anisha.
Thank you so much, Siddharth. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Anisha Shastri. I'm a whole-time director here at Intense Technologies. With me, I also have Mr. Shastri, founder and CMD of Intense. I have Mr. Jayant Dwarkanath, who's a whole-time director as well. I have our CFO, Nitin Sarda, and then I also have our COO, Mr. Anil Kumar. For those of you who do not know Intense Technology, I just want to give you a quick introduction of who we are. So we are an enterprise software product and tech-enabled services company. We initially started off focusing on telco, but over the last 5 years, we have broadened our focus to now primarily focusing on BFSI and government businesses. So apart from telco, we also do business with banks, insurance companies, and the government. We have been seeing a lot of traction for our products, and in fact, I am very proud to tell you that today we have pretty much all the large private banks, insurance companies in the country that you can think of using our products and services. And we, in some way or the other, touch millions and crores of lives in the country through means of by means of our products. I would also like to introduce you to, if you were following us on our previous calls, then you would have known about our Project Butterfly initiative and our growth plans for the organization. But for those who are joining us for the first time on this call, I would like to give you a quick and brief introduction to what this Project Butterfly initiative is. The idea here is that now I think we as an organization believe that it's time for us to get out of our cocoons and it's time for us to fly. And that's the line of thought behind Project Butterfly. The idea behind Project Butterfly is to ensure that we vertically expand the kind of revenue generating lines that we have as an organization. Given the fact that we have so many large banks, telcos, insurance companies, etc. to our credit, we would like to leverage the kind of products and services that we have as an organization, expand on them in order to be able to provide more holistic offerings to our customers and so that we're able to farm them better. We also want to open up the kind of hunting line revenue streams that we have for our hunting organizations. We have been focusing with that mission, we have been focusing on ensuring that we are able to provide healthy growth from what we used to do to what we do today. Let me now speak about our Q1 earnings. So you may have already looked at our financial results. This year, Q1, we have closed our top line at about 23.95 crores as opposed to the 17.25 that we did last year, Q1. We also closed our PBT at 3.18 crores this year as opposed to the 1.31 crores that we did last year. We are a debt-free company. Our cash flows are healthy, and our cash flows give us the ability to be able to take some risks now. This is what we started off on, embarked on a couple of quarters ago last year, and the same trend continues this year. Our idea is to ensure that as I said, that we vertically expand on our products and services. We improve our processes so that we're able to control our costs and deliver better results to our customers more efficiently. We invest in the right kind of talent, the right kind of skill set that are able to take us to the kind of growth levels that we hope to achieve. And we continue to invest in innovation as we always have as a product and services organization. I would now like to hand it over to our COO, Mr. Anil Dengayar. He will speak to you on the details of how we are going about to achieve this growth. Over to you, Anil.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Good afternoon. I'm Anil here, CEO of Intense Technologies. To add on to what Anisha just spoke about, Project Butterfly primarily has few key objectives. It is about enabling the growth of this company, the revenue growth of this company by enabling revenue, growth engines. Continue to invest in innovation and foster that innovation DNA within this organization. We are investing in people. As we foray into new and new, domains, there is a need for us to upskill and upscale our organization, so we are investing in people. And the fourth pillar of that is an overarching governance to govern this initiative so that
Anil, we lost you. Anil? Anil, sir, may we request you to unmute your line from your side, please?
it is unmuted. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir, please go ahead.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir, we can hear you. Please go ahead.
Yeah, okay. So as part of, the objectives that we have laid out for Project Butterfly, we continue to invest in opportunities that are of the future. We are looking at opportunities which are long-term in nature rather than short-term one-off opportunities. We are focused on recurring opportunities which span multiple years.
And someone else is, I think.
My line is... Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir, please go ahead.
So we are looking at opportunities which are recurring in nature.
It also seems like one of our investors is somewhere near Bantya Gardens at this point. All right. So while we get back, Anil, I think what Anil was trying to convey is that was the lines of business that we have been working on expanding. So what we've done is we're not going out of line from what we have done in the past. But what we used to do in the past is one product and peripheral services. Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am, please go ahead. Ma'am, we are unable to hear you. Ladies and gentlemen, please stay connected while we reconnect the management. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, the line for the management is reconnected. Ma'am, you can go ahead.
So sorry for all the technology mishaps that are happening in the 21st century, gentlemen and ladies. Anil, are you on?
Yeah, I am on. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Yes, please go ahead.
Yeah, so I will just resume from where I left off. So we are focused on long-term opportunities which span multiple years. We are also focused on opportunities which are recurring in nature, which gives us predictable recurring revenue over multiple years. We have forayed into the technologies of the future, which is data services. We are seeing a lot of traction when it comes to data services in existing accounts that we have. Large banks are grappling with a lot of data. So there are a lot of opportunities which, we can, go after. We are investing in cloud services. We are building partnerships. We are upscaling our organization. Again, the financial institutions are moving, towards the cloud. They are adopting cloud in a much significant manner than previous years. We are also having our products put onto the SaaS platform. Our products have been certified by Amazon AWS, and our products will be by next quarter be delivered as a SaaS platform, both on Amazon and in the global marketplace of Amazon. The last thing I wanted to talk about from a growth engine perspective was that we are pursuing some good opportunities in the government sector as the government continues to transform and adopt digital ecosystems. We see an opportunity over there. So there are opportunities which we are pursuing in the public sector. So with public sector and our focus on the SaaS, our focus on our existing clients, which are all marquee clients in the industry, we definitely do see, a good horizon for this company to grow its revenue over the next few years. So that's what I had to put on the table briefly. Over to you, Anisha.
Thank you so much, Anil. Governments today are really tech savvy and they expect no less than the best available technology in the market. So a lot of managed services opportunities that we are pursuing are around, based on the tenets of AI and blockchain. And that helps us deliver more foolproof, latest cutting edge tech to governments as well. With that, I think we are more or less done with what we wanted to share. Mr. Shastri, would you have some closing comments?
No, we will take the questions from the investors.
Okay, fantastic. Over to you, Siddharth.
Thank you very much. We will now begin the question and answer session. Anyone who wishes to ask a question may press star and 1 on their touchtone telephone. If you wish to remove yourself from the question queue, you may press star and 2. Participants are requested to use handsets while asking a question. Ladies and gentlemen, we will wait for a moment while the question queue assembles.
While we wait for questions, I just wanted to correct myself. I said profit before tax was 3.18 crores this year. It's actually 4.08 crores. 3.18 is after tax. Thanks.
Thank you. Our first question is from the line of Farhan Amalani from SJ Investments. Please go ahead.
Hello. Yeah, am I audible?
Yes, Farhan.
Yeah, first of all, congratulations on a good set of numbers. So I have a couple of questions. First is, from what I see from your press release, you have mentioned that the company classifies its client relationships into annuity engagements and growth engagements. So, can you give a ballpark number of what percentage of our revenue for the latest quarter was from annuity engagements? And also, the EBITDA margins have increased from 12% to 18% currently. So, what kind of steady state margins are you looking for the next, say, 2 to 3 years? Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much, Farhan, for your question. To answer your first question, approximately, I think we are around the ballpark of about 60% annuity number. So that's to answer your first question. The second question is was on EBITDA. So yes, we have seen growth in our EBITDA numbers from last year's Q1 to this year's Q1. We have put in a lot of processes internally in place to monitor efficiency, improve productivity, improve budget tracking, etc. So we're hoping that we're able to sustain and continue to improve on this.
Okay. Any number as such?
I would refrain from giving hard numbers, but I would like to assure you that we're doing our best to ensure that we focus not just on improving our top line, but also on improving our bottom line.
Okay. Fair enough. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Our next question is from the line of John Kumar from Alpha Capital. Please go ahead.
Hi there. Congrats on a good set of numbers. My question is related to the balance sheet given by the company for the end of financial year 31st March 23. So would you be able to elaborate on the fixed assets of the company? If I can recall correctly from my memory, it says 4.3 crores or something as fixed assets. So would you be able to elaborate on the what's compromised and what's considered in that 4.3 odd crores, and also on the current investments of the company that's around 15 crores.
Thank you so much for your question, John. Just one moment.
Yeah, hi John, this is Nitin here on this side. Basically our fixed asset at this point of time consists of, hello?
Yes, can hear you, yes.
Oh, at this point of time the fixed assets comprise of our existing infrastructure that we have, and mostly the IT infrastructure in terms of laptops and all.
Okay, does it include any fixed assets like property or anything, building, land, anything of that? Or?
We have 6,000 square feet of prime location property which is owned by us, which was purchased in 1999.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. And it's all based on the market value of the assets, all those fixed assets?
Not taking the market value of the property. Market value of the property would be much, much higher.
Okay, like in reality, the value of the fixed assets would be higher than what's actually done, like which is the case with almost any company in India, because obviously the book value would be the value on the books would be less than what the market value is. And would you be able to elaborate on the current assets as well, sir? It says on the last financial year in 31st March, it says 16 odd crores.
Yeah, hi John. So pretty much in terms of our current assets, we have a very healthy cash balance of about 40 crores which is sitting, and that gives us required impetus to invest in growing services, to invest in talent. And besides that, we also have about 40 crores sitting in our receivables, 50% of which, generally as a company we have broadline contracted agreements of 90 days credit period. Current assets remain healthy, and that reflects the growing scalability of the company.
And the account receivables, they seem to be higher than the previous year. Is there any specific reason for the increase in the account receivables?
Yeah, so if you see our the top line has also increased That's the primary reason. As a consequence, if you see most of our revenues are bundled in Q4. That is why consequently my accounts receivable has also increased.
Okay, yeah. Thank you. That makes a lot of sense.
Thank you. A reminder to all participants, you may press star and 1 to ask a question. Our next question is from the line of Sumit Kotari, who is an investor. Please go ahead.
Hi, this is Sumit, and thanks for the opportunity. So in the last Concall, we have spoken about a 30% kind of a top-line growth with a minimum margin of 35%. And in the current quarter, our operating margins were like little less than 20%. So are we saying that we'll be doing a 120 crore kind of a top line with a 42% kind of an EBITDA for the current year, which is FY24?
Definitely, our ambition is to clock 30% EBITDA and have a healthy growth of 20 to 25%. But I would not really comment. Those are our ambitions. We'll definitely be able to outperform our historical numbers.
No, but in the last call, we had given a guidance for the next 3 years. We'll go at a bare minimum 30% with a 35% kind of an EBITDA margin, if I recollect it. So are we standing by that guidance which we have given?
That is our internal target. So yeah, definitely that is our aspirations as an organization. That's what we strive to achieve. Realistically, we have our target and strategy aligned in that. But in terms of actuals, only we'll be able. We believe we should be closer to our guidance.
Okay, because in the current quarter, the margins were little less than 20%, and it was communicated that the guidance would show up from the Q1 numbers itself. So I was a little curious to ask you about it.
So also to answer your questions, basically it also depends on the mix of our revenue, as we are foraying into other streams of revenue being transmission and also bundle services. So we are taking up a lot of contracts wherein the receivables is almost immediate, but the margins in terms of percentage would not be as much. But in terms of growth, it would contribute to 20 to 25% growth year on year.
Okay. So
organization consolidated level, you might not see that 30% or 25% that we are aspiring to. But in our quest to provide one-stop solution provider, we do take up a lot of ancillary solutions that would not really add up to 35%, 30%, 25% always.
But it improves our stickiness with our customers.
Sure. So the current cash on the books is close to 40 crores, as you just spoke about. And out of the 54 crores of receivables which were there at the end of March, the current number stands at 40 crores. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. Great. So that is one clarity. And second thing is about the new independent directors which the company has been recently appointed. So my request is, why can't we get someone from the industry, like from the IT industry or from telecom industry, which is a big contributing percentage to the total revenues? I know we got someone from the Air Force background, great, but the company is actually thinking of revamping the board, but it would be really great if we get someone from the industry. It would really help.
Sure, Sumit, we are having some very big names who are going to come on board, on advisory board. Because of their other obligations, we are talking to quite a few of them, and if you have any good ones, we are open to talking to them.
But we also brought in Mr. Gopal because he comes with a very strong finance background. And as we look to improve on both top and bottom line, he provides very strategic inputs in terms of how we can help, achieve that.
That's nice. That's nice to hear. And my last question is regarding any fundraise we might plan to do, because the company is looking to grow in many verticals and many geographies also. And we are still a little smaller company if we want to have a global footprint. So are we looking at some kind of a fundraise in the immediate future?
Sumit, if we find a good company to acquire and grow inorganically, that's when we'll be thinking about that. But other than that, at this point in time, we don't have any such plans. If at all there is an opportunity, especially we are looking at very small companies in the US, where it's going to make sense for mutually a stock and cash deal or something like that, we'll have to work out. It's too early for us to comment on that, but those thoughts are definitely there at the back of our mind, because we need to break into US, and the only way we somehow feel fast track that is through acquiring a company in the US, a small company with niche clients.
Okay. Because I see that we have a lot of cash in our books, and if we are able to receive the receivables, that is 40 crores of cash plus 40 crores of receivables, because we don't have too much of payables, it's still a significant cash that we might be having by the end of the year. So we have 70-80 crores of cash if we receive the receivables. So how do we plan to use the cash is what I wanted to know basically.
Yeah, absolutely. We agree with you. That's the whole, from the inception of our company till now, we never had this opportunity of, investing and taking some risk to grow the company. We always were, struggling to do that, and this is the cushion which we have got to invest in growth.
Correct. Sure. Thanks for answering my questions patiently.
Thank you. Our next question is from the line of Mr. Ramakrishnan, who is an investor. Please go ahead.
Hello, this is Ramakrishnan. So first of all, congratulations on the Q1 numbers. I have a question with respect to Project Butterfly. I understand that multiple investments were made during the last fiscal year and operating costs were a little higher, all that. However, I still observe that the operating expenses are comparatively higher year on year compared to the last, similar quarter and all that. So the operating expenses are still slightly higher. So will the trend continue to have higher operating expenses, or how is it? I mean, just want to know on this.
Thank you so much for your question. In terms of operating expenses, what we have done is, as opposed to earlier where we only used to sell our products, now we have also started taking on a lot of large managed services opportunities with governments and with private organizations also, but with governments as well. So that involves us to do everything end to end, right? From setting up their infrastructure to providing software to operations and maintenance of that software, right? So sometimes when you see these spurts of operating expenses, it may be to do with the fact that we would have started deploying or executing on a project, government project. That's the reason for the spurt in operating.
Yeah, also with respect to current quarter, if you see the jump of about 4 crores in operating expenses, that is because, like I mentioned earlier, we are providing bouquet of services, and as part of a solution provider, we also have to undertake certain hardware transactions to support our customers, wherein the margins would not be as much as in case of services or software, but the realization is almost immediate. And the increase, almost 80% of my current increase in operating expenses can be attributed to those transactions.
And transmission services.
Got it. Okay, yes, thank you.
Thank you. Our next question is from the line of Mr. Ranjit Chandrasekhar from Tarun and VG Limited. Please go ahead.
Hi, opportunity to interact with you all because from last quarter onwards we have an opportunity to interact with you people. My main question is from the previous Concall. We have started investing on the international market, mainly on end-to-end systems. I just want to mainly know, have you got any new clients from the international market yet?
we are still continuing to pursue those markets, sir. In fact, we also added a couple of additional sales hands in the Middle East Africa region. We are still working on it.
We hope to add, our this year from the pipeline, it looks like we may add 1 or 2 new clients from the international markets. But it is definitely our aspiration. As I said, we've been definitely struggling to break into the United States. But with this new approach of tech-enabled services, we see some traction. And what we are doing is that we are going on the partner model for the international markets to see, because they already have relationship and engagement with some customers. So giving a compelling value proposition through them makes sense. We just are in the advanced stage of signing up with a very big partner for the US.
Okay, thank you both. That answers my first question. Second question is on the recruitments. Like in the previous meeting, we have been investing in the senior executives on the sales side and other stuff. How we are going with the recruitment? Are we still looking for recruiting new people in the next few quarters, or like our recruitment is all?
Yeah, absolutely. Our CFO Nitin is a new addition, and we have been adding quite a few talent in the managed services, customer engagement folks, and in the delivery and in the sales and innovation.
Okay, thanks again. And on the end-to-end systems which you are pitching in, we have started pitching in like end-to-end systems now. Have you, like, obviously when we are pitching in, we'll be seeing like our revenues will be seeing it from after a couple of quarters, where in the first 1 or 2 quarters where we have to invest more on those stuff. Like the ones which we have invested in the end-to-end systems the past quarter, have you started seeing any changes, like, or like the business or our clients have started showing their interest on us? Like, what do you think, how it is going? Those, or it might be
In fact, a portion of what we did in Q1 this year also reflects, some of those investments paying off. We are seeing very healthy traction with our existing customers as well, and it's also opening up opportunities for our hunters to be able to sell more lines of, services to other potential customers. So we are definitely seeing the traction that we were hoping to.
And just to add to what Anisha was saying, that ever since we kind of conceived and launched Project Butterfly, so far we have very little reason to course correct. So we're still following the actions of what was conceived, and the results are encouraging.
Okay. Thank you, Anisha. Thanks, everyone. That answers my questions. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Before we take the next question, a reminder to all participants that you may press star and 1 to ask a question. Our next question is from the line of Milan Shah from Urmil Research Consultancies. Please go ahead.
Hello. Hello.
Yes, Mr. Milan, you can go ahead with your question.
Okay. Congratulations for great set of number, and which is what promise you have given in last call, it is achieved. So thanks. And my question is, Butterfly is operational right now, or is going to operation from after some quarter?
Sorry, can you please repeat your question?
Okay. Butterfly project which is we have introduced, it is operational right now, or it is going to operation after some quarter?
No, it is operational. It has been operational. We started introducing it around Q3 last year, and now governance is healthy.
Okay. And what is, madam, hello?
Anji, yes sir,
hello.
We can hear you.
Okay. Is it any ballpark number which is we have spent on Butterfly project?
Basically, Project Butterfly is not just one number. It's basically a set of actions and that we as a business need to be taking in order to healthily grow the top and bottom lines. It's basically a combination of improving our product and service offerings, adding processes, the right processes, adding the right talent, focusing on innovation, etc. It's basically our overall strategy for the organization.
Okay. And congratulations for Nitin Sardas has joined the company, and as per his previous profile, I think our company is going to in very good hand right now. And Nitin sir has mentioned that we are going to acquire some small company in USA. I think this is the right step our company is going to do. So how much time it is going to take to acquire the company, if any time frame?
No, we don't have any time frame. We are open to seeing those opportunities come, and it is getting that company at the right price and right match is what is there. If you have any good companies, please do suggest.
Oh, okay. And our product is not going to bundle with any software banking company. So we have our marketing or approach cost is going to be down, and we are throwing banking sector more in foreign countries.
Currently, we have almost all the large banks in India as our customers, and our ambition is to see that we bring it to international banks also in the global thing. We could achieve some in the Middle East. We have Mashreq Bank as our customer. We have First Gulf as our customer. But it's a process. AFS, it's our customers. It's a process, and we are very keen to add more international logos in the BFS side.
Okay. Thank you, and good wishes for bright future. Thank you.
Thank you, Milanji.
Thank you. Our next question is from the line of Mr. Vijay, who is an investor. Please go ahead. Mr. Vijay, your line has been unmuted. You can go ahead with your question. May I request Mr. Vijay to unmute your line from your side, please?
Hello.
Yes, sir. Please
Hello.
go ahead with your question.
Hi. Good afternoon, everyone. Congratulations on your results. My question is, whether the management have initiated any steps, or is there any plan to have meeting with the institutional investors, considering there is no institutional investors as per the current shareholding pattern?
We are planning to have a roadshow soon, but that we will let you know. That plans are there, but the timing is yet to be there. There has been some interest, and some people are talking to us.
All right. Thank you. My next question is, can I please know your employee strength?
We're currently about 570.
All right. Thank you. My last question is, what is your financial guidance for the forthcoming quarter compared to last year?
Our endeavor will be to do better than the quarters that we had last year. That's what I can say.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Our next question is from the line of Ankur Gulati, who is an investor. Please go ahead, sir.
Thanks again, Mr. But can you just tell us the reasons for decline in revenue quarter on quarter? Is there a seasonality impact?
Beg your pardon, sir, because there is no decline in revenue. If you're comparing our Q4 to Q1, typically As an organization, our Q4 has been the heaviest of our 4 quarters. We are working towards, balancing our quarters out, but even now as we speak, typically Q4 is heavy for us.
And is this because most billing happens in Q4 or new contracts come in Q4?
Yes, so customers' budgets tend to lapse, so they tend to close orders in Q4. AMC revenue comes in Q4. Annuity licenses come in Q4. So which is why our Q4 tends to be heavier.
Okay. And taking a step back for your Project Butterfly, can you give us, let's say, what are the enablers or milestones? I mean, is it geographical expansion, client expansion, what?
So the focus of Butterfly is, there is a client expansion. More than client expansion, our focus is on revenue expansion. So that may be from existing clients as well, or it may be addition of new clients. Both we're looking at. We're also looking at multiple revenue streams, and so each revenue stream, we have certain internal targets that we have set for ourselves, and we keep tracking it on tracking our progress on a weekly basis on how we're able to measure each of those service offerings. Those lines, like for example, data, cloud, managed services, our communications products, our transmission products, our low-code products, etc.
So, for this quarter or for last financial year, is it possible to club them into 2 or 3 headings from a revenue/payment perspective, just to understand which component is giving you maximum revenue?
Definitely, what we at this point of time we are thinking is, as part of our annual reports, we'll definitely try to provide a breakup of our revenue segments.
Understood. I'm pretty sure annual report is nearing completion, but if you can give us more, some sort of enablers for Butterfly in your annual report, that will help. The last point is, if you guys say you have 70% market share in private sector bank, any progress with public sector banks or other retail NBFCs where they may use your communication tech stack?
We are trying to penetrate into public sector banks, but the process is long. Once we identify RFPs, tenders, and all of that is quite a long process. Despite that, we are chasing a couple of them in that, and NBFCs as a vertical, we started developing. Being a mission critical thing, we do have still a problem of long selling cycles. That is there, and definitely NBFCs are some of our target.
Last point, I think promoters did some warrants or pref some time back, correct?
Yeah.
What will be your shareholding? Sorry, what will be your shareholding post conversion?
20.7, including directors and promoters put together, it is around 27, 28 is what it will come to. And
but including what, sir? Second part, what do you say? Including what?
Directors and promoters.
Directors, promoters, and employees.
That's great. And what are the use of proceeds for that fundraise?
It was typically, we wanted to increase our stake. The biggest grouse the market is having with us is that the promoter holding is less. So the whole idea was to see that we increase the thing. Though
it was more of an expression of confidence in their community to state that, hey, we are confident about our business and the promoter increasing the stake. It was more of an expression of confidence.
Understood. So just building on that, any thoughts on doing a buyback with the cash sitting in the company? Because that will lead to the same impact.
That plan is there, but we would want to delay it after a year or so. We would want to invest in growth for now and then take a call on that.
Understood. Okay, thanks a lot.
Thank you. Our last question for the question and answer session comes from the line of Mr. Pratik, who is an investor. Please go ahead.
Hi. Am I audible?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So couple of questions. One, in terms of government contracts, can you give some color in terms of contract length that you are getting, and also on the BFSI side? And the other part on the other question is on the Project Butterfly. If you could put a ballpark number in terms of what amount you would be spending over the next 3 years, and what kind of savings are you expecting from those spending?
Project Butterfly is more or less, we have a lot of IPSs. We have IPSs in data services, we have IPSs in communications. So we have conceived this whole idea of converting them instead of selling them as licenses, converting them into data services, so that the selling cycles are shortened and we broaden our wallet share from a single customer. That was the strategy and the thing. In the increments in increase in manpower for this year is not going to be much more than what it is today. Maybe about 10% or so they could be an increase, if at all, but it will justify the growth what we are seeing from that. And as far as what was your other question?
Yeah, the first question was to do with the contract length that you're getting.
Typically, government contracts are 5 to 6 years, which they come up with, and post that they either renew it or retender the thing. So that's how these contracts are at the moment. Sometimes we also get these contracts through outsourced partners like system integrators and partners, wherein they typically do a two-year renewal and things like that.
All right. Okay. And just a follow-up, do you have a step-up in the contract length, or is the price fixed for all the 5 years?
There is normally a fixed thing, step-up. If it is a volume thing, because what happens is typically with one contract we have a transaction-based pricing. When the volume goes up, we get an upside, whereas other contracts are it's all it's how we price the thing and how the government comes with the pricing model.
Okay. All right. And one last question, are there any payment delays that you're facing from the government?
There are not many, but we anyway factor in about 90 to 120 days in our costing itself.
All right. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, that was the last question. I now hand the conference over to the management for closing comments.
Thank you very much for taking time to participate in this thing, and your feedback and your suggestions are always valued, and it will help us implement and grow this. Thank you very much, and we look forward to having these calls, irrespective of the performance, to have the calls going forward every quarter.
Thank you. On behalf of Intense Technologies Limited, that concludes this conference. Thank you for joining us, and you may now disconnect your lines.
Please subscribe and press the